What's up, guys? So as you saw in the title, I traded my MX-5 for a Mazda 3, which I had before the MX-5, and the reason why I did it was the Mazda 3 is just such a great car. The versatility of the hatchback, the gas mileage, which the MX-5 got 36 miles per gallon for me, so it's not like it was bad mileage. And I do a lot of freeway cruising. Whoa. Painting lines on the road. But this is such a better car for me, and I really loved the manual transmission in the MX-5, and I wanted to keep a manual transmission just because it makes the driving much more fun. But in the Mazda 3, I test drove the manual transmission, and I was comparing it probably too much to the MX-5s, but I didn't really like the experience. I just didn't like the way it felt, and so I went with an automatic. So yeah, here I am back in a Mazda 3. My first one was a 2014 S Grand Touring with the extra tech package, which got me that IE loop system, which is why I got 36.3 miles per gallon average after around 30,000 miles. That was awesome. The system worked great because I didn't drive really slow. Like when I was around town, I would accelerate quickly, but when I was on the highway, I would drive pretty conservative. But this time around, I have a 2016 I Sport, which was like the lowest model you can get, which is what I was kind of trying to go for. It was just saving money. I didn't want to end up having the same payment as my MX-5. That was part of the reason why I really had to get rid of it, was because it was my daily driver. I needed it for so many things that it just couldn't do, and I just made a wrong turn because I'm talking. So I was paying more for the car than my rent. My rent is really cheap, but I was just like, man, this car can't even do everything I want it to do. And I'm paying this much money for it. So it was just one of those things where, like, you'd be going to bed at night and you're like, God, am I doing the right thing? And I'm just like, wanted to keep that car long term. Wanted to have it a really long time. And I knew it was going to end up being really long time or really short. And it ended up being really short. So I have to say it, there were so many times where I missed my Mazda 3 after I got rid of it. And since being back in my Mazda 3 now, I can't say that there have been too many times where I've missed the Miata. It was so fun to drive, but the Mazda 3 is just as much fun for, like, as a daily driver. Yeah, so far I'm averaging 39.5 miles per gallon after about 8 fill-ups in this car, which is amazing. I think Mazda is really conservative with their miles per gallon estimates, because I always get way above what they advertise it at. And since I had, see, that's another thing. In the Miata, it was hard to carry around these envelopes. Now I can bring them with me. Nah, just kidding around. Oh, take it easy there. But it's just so much easier to live with on a daily basis. The ND, honestly, is probably obviously the best for daily driving compared to all the other Miatas, but my plan right now is to buy an older model Miata and then fix it up or do whatever I want to it for like a lot cheaper. But I really want to get back into a Miata. It was just for daily driving and having such a huge car payment and not being able to have it do everything I needed it to do. Like, I was considering getting rental cars for long trips that I went on, and I'm like, it's just financially too much to... It's too much to live with on a daily basis, and too much financially to not do everything you need it to do. The horn in this car is way nicer than the Miata too. That one was a little bit wimpy. I don't understand why they just put wimpy horns in smaller cars. Like, is there like a law that you have to have like a higher pitched horn for smaller cars? It'd be nice to see like a Chevy Spark out there with some deep horn that scares people. But yeah, since I got my 2014, they've come out with a lot of cars that have been updated, like the Hyundai Elantra and the Honda Civic, which the Honda Civic, I was a big fan of that. I liked the way it looked when it first came out, but after just like a couple months of looking at reviews and watching them, I'm just like, this car does not look good. And it just looks like a car that's for like teenagers. And I don't know. I think that I've always thought the Mazda 3 had like a nice balanced look about like youthfulness and like premium, kind of all in the same. And I know that that's what Mazda's going for, is like a brand, is like more of like a premium type look, which I think they're doing a really good job of.